When we did put on the 72 tour, that time I had a house in Kent called St John's Jerusalem, which was set in, 40 acres with about 8 acres of formal garden with a moat round it and a chapel. So I grew up in a council estate, so the idea of a stately home appealed to me enormously. The Grateful Dead were coming, and John suggested maybe we'd have a softball game at the house. That was the premise. But of course, the band arrived with all their people, children, all sorts, 40-odd people, and they all came down for the weekend. And it was quite a wild time. I mean, yes, there was some softball played, and in fact there's photographs of this in the Grateful Dead's White Album 72 Tour of Europe, and there used to be a booklet went with it with pictures of St John's Jerusalem and so on and so forth. So of course the Grateful Dead, Jerry Garcia and all the band and all the crew and some of their children and hangers-on and everybody came for the weekend. I mean, came down for the softball game, but in fact stayed, I don't know, it seemed like forever at the time. I read it in a book somewhere where it said they went to a stately home one afternoon. Yes, right. The Grateful Dead song, it's actually not a Grateful Dead song, it's Jerry Garcia Band. And I put on the 1972 and 74 tours of Europe, and as a promoter, became very friendly with Jerry. He came, I told you before, came down to my house and we sat around playing guitars. It was a big thrill for me. And the first one went very well financially and everything was very good. But the 74 tour, we were all a bit out of our heads on cocaine and so forth, which we met, some crazy stuff went down, and there was a loss of $25,000, which his lawyer was saying to me, you're going to have to pay. And this is after I'd wined and dined everybody to the nth degree. And Jerry said, fuck that, man. You're not going to ask Tom for 25 grand. Forget it. So that was the end of it. And I didn't think of it anymore until a girlfriend, I don't know, in the end of the 70s, called me up and said, Tom, I'm listening to this tape and it sounds like Jerry Garcia's singing about you. So I went round to the house and it was a song called Might As Well. And the verse went, and again, approximately, because you've got to work out what Jerry Garcia is singing, and he might sing it slightly differently from time to time, but it was, pay Tom Salter for 25 miles, takes you to the edge in style, rock on Bowie, rhythm and blues, rock and roll baby in the old man's shoes.
Every day is